Well, good morning. This is Kathy Tucker with Kathy Tucker Coaching and Consulting, and I specialize in helping new home salespeople and their managers to learn the tips and techniques and skills to sell more homes. And today I am going to share with you what I feel like is one of the most powerful tools in helping you convert more of your appointments into sales. And it is presenting the pre-qualification sheet and the cost estimate sheet in a way that will help you close more sales more quickly. All right? So I'm going to set you over here while I situate here at the table, because ultimately I'm going to be presenting the buying power, the pre-qualification sheet, which I like to call the buying power worksheet. I'm going to be presenting that and the cost estimate sheet to you as if you're my customer. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. There's 5 key things that I want to demonstrate for you. The first thing is how to propose your agenda for completing the pre-qualification worksheet and the cost estimate sheet. The second is how to ask the key discovery questions that will guide you along the way so that you can properly help them purchase a home that's within their budget. Third, I am going to show you how to use mini closes throughout the process so that you continue to move them forward and also continue to keep them engaged in the process. The fourth thing is I'm going to show you how to present the cost estimate sheet, which is the sheet that you would use when you're pricing out the home, and ideally showing them what a monthly payment is and what their cash to close would be. And then finally, I'm going to show you how you can close on the entire process so that you can move the process forward with the customer right then and there. So those are the 5 key things that I'm here to demonstrate for you today, and all while I, show you the pre-qualification and the cost estimate sheet. All right. So before I get started, I want to first share with you the prerequisites. So in doing this type of a presentation with your customer, there's a couple things that you need to know first. First of all, you have to have first pre-qualified them a little bit on the floor where you have some idea of where they want to be in a price and payment, some idea. So that when the other prerequisite is that you've demonstrated a model and helped them pick a floor plan, a home site, and a community so that they're already excited about what they want. You have an idea that you're in the range of what they can afford. But now it's time to really price it out for them and to make sure that they'll qualify. So that's what. So you have to have gotten some pre-qualification information. You have to know what they want, why they want it. And then the other thing you really do have to know is you have to have some basic knowledge on financing. And what I mean by that is you have to have some basic knowledge on qualifying. You have to know what the ratios are that the lenders require and how to calculate them. And you also have to know how to calculate a monthly payment. Use a mortgage calculator and calculate the principal, interest, taxes, and insurance for the customer. If you don't know how to do those couple of key elements, then you have to get some of that training first. But I think this is at least going to show you, once you have that information, how to then use it in a way that it can be very impactful and help you move the process forward, like I said, with the buyer. Okay? So those are your prerequisites. Pre-qualify them a little bit on the floor. Make sure you know what they want in terms of a home site, and a community. And make sure you have some basic information on how to actually qualify somebody and how to calculate payments. Okay, and then what you're going to need during this meeting with a customer is a couple of things. First of all, you need to have your mortgage pre-qualification sheet. What I like to do is have it blank that I sit in front of the customer, and then I also will have one on my computer that I'm filling out so that I can do the calculations fairly quickly. So that's like a mortgage qualification sheet. The next thing you need to have is the cost estimate sheet. I like to have a blank one also sitting on the desk so that the prospect has an understanding of what we're going to be covering. So you may have it on the computer as well, but you also want to have a blank copy so they can look at it. And then you also ought to have a copy of the floor plan that they're interested in, the one that you've identified as the right plan for them. And then also your marketing map, so they have a good idea, so they know which home site they want. And, it's all sitting in front of them, so it's kind of exciting. I also recommend that you have a highlighter because you're going to want them to start highlighting some of this information, and you're going to be highlighting some information too. So these are some of the things you want to have. So I'm going to set these here, for the prospect. All right, and then for me, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have, like I said, I'm going to have these sheets here, and I'm going to be explaining what I'm going to be doing with a customer. Okay, so let's get started. All right. Okay, let's get started. All right. Well, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Tucker. It is so good to see you today. Thank you for coming back. And how was that baseball game that you went to last night? Good? Good. I know. That's so much fun with the kids, isn't it? Well, congratulations. Oh, they won. That's terrific. All right, well, very good. Well, I am so glad that you're back, and we have lots of good information to be sharing with you today. And, first what I want to do is confirm that we're still on the same page as far as which home you're interested in the home site. So when you left yesterday, you had pretty much narrowed it down to the Collins floor plan because you really loved the way it had the kitchen open to the living area, and you loved all the entertaining area in the backyard, and you loved the covered porch and the fireplace and those types of things. Am I right that this was the house that you felt like was best for you because you like to do the entertaining? Okay, good. And then the other element was, I think when we looked at the home sites yesterday, you felt good about lot 74, the one that's over here on the corner. Okay, so you still feel good about that? Okay, great. So then what we're gonna do is we are going to price all this out for you so that now that you know what home you want and where you want it, we're gonna personalize it for you so you know really what it's gonna cost and how much and when the various funds would be due. So let me be a little more clear and share with you specifically what we're gonna do here today. What we'll do is, first what I'm going to do is ask you a few questions and complete this buying power worksheet. What this is a sheet that helps us understand what a lender will allow for you, and it helps you see what your buying power is. So I'm going to ask you some questions about your income, your monthly obligations, your assets, and your credit, and then I'm going to do a few calculations, and we'll determine what your maximum sales price and monthly payment would be according to a lender. All right? How's that sound? Good? Well, good. One of the things that a lot of my folks tell me is that this was really, really helpful for them. And, the way I look at it is whether you buy from me or somebody else, this gives you a really good idea of what your buying power is, so that as you're looking for a home, you know what range to be looking in that you feel comfortable with. All right, so we'll do that first. We'll look at your buying power, and that only takes us a few minutes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to price out the home for you. So I'm going to have you highlight the floor plan, and I'm going to go through the features, the additional decorator features that you mentioned you would be interested in. Some of the optional features like the covered porch and the fireplace and the outside entertainment area. So we'll price some of those or anything that you want. We'll price that into the home for you, and then I will show you the cost estimate. So what we'll do is, once we've gone room by room and priced everything out, then I will show you what your total price will be. We'll talk a little bit about what kind of loan would work best for you, and we'll pick out a loan for you, and then from there I'll calculate for you what your monthly investment will be, including your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. And then I'll also calculate for you your prepaids and closing costs. So then you'll know, not just what all's in the home, but then what would the monthly payment be, and what would the down payment be, and what would the total cash to close. And that way you'll have all the information you need to be able to make a decision. Okay? Sound good? All right, very good. Well, let's get started. And let's start first with the buying power worksheet. And what I'm going to do is just ask you a couple of questions, like I mentioned. So I know we talked yesterday a little bit about your work, and Andy, you said you were an engineer, and Marcia, you said that you are a teacher. So let's talk a little bit more about your income. So relative to your income, would you share with me what your annual income is, or even monthly, however you like to, whatever's easier for you. Okay, so Andy, your income is 95. Okay, great. What a healthy income. How long have you been doing that? Oh gosh, that's a long time. Well, good for you. Congratulations. Marcia, how about for you? What income do you have? I know you said you're a teacher. Okay, 30,000, very good. All right, so that's about 125 as an annual income. Is there any other income you want to include? Interest on any kind of assets, or child support, alimony, anything of that nature? Nope. Okay, very good. So we have an income of 125. That sounds really good. That's a nice healthy income for you. Okay, the next area then is your monthly obligations. Let's talk about what your monthly payments are. So let's start maybe with a car loan. Do you guys have a car loan? Okay, you have one car loan. Okay, $500. All right. What about any other loans? Student loans, jewelry loans, boat loans, anything like that? Okay, so you have a student loan. Okay, and what would that be on a monthly basis? Okay, so, all right, a monthly basis, $150 a month. Okay, great. I'm going to make a note of that. Any other loans? Okay, you have another personal loan. Okay, how much would that be on a minimum required monthly payment? All right, $100. Okay, put that down. All right, and then what about credit cards? Do you have any credit cards? Okay, you do. I know, me too. That's what I do. I use all my credit cards, and then I get points for airplane tickets. So for credit cards, all I really need to know is what your minimum monthly payment is, even though you might pay more. Okay, so you each have credit cards. Okay, fine. So Andy, what's yours? Okay, about 100. Marcia, yours? About the same. Okay, so your minimum, not what you pay, but your minimum required payment is about $100 for each of you. Okay, very good. All right, well, let me plug this in. Okay, so that's monthly obligations of about $950 a month. Does that sound about right? Okay, terrific. Now let me ask you this other quick question. Are any of these loans, your car loan, your student loan, or the personal loan, are any of those going to be paid off within 6 to 8 months? No? Okay. The reason is because if they are, then you don't always have to count them in your monthly obligations, but this is perfectly fine. Okay, so we're at $950. All right, very good. Let's go to the next topic. The next topic is assets. So I know you were mentioning that you've been saving for a while to purchase your home. Share with me, if you would, the funds that you're planning to use for the home purchase. Okay. So you have about $25,000 in your savings account. Okay, great. Well, that's terrific. You've been saving well. Congratulations. All right. Are there any other funds that you were planning to use for the purchase of this home? Okay. All right. So you were going to sell the boat. Okay. So in selling the boat, what do you think you would be getting for that? Okay, about another $25,000. Okay, fantastic. All right. Anything else that you have relative to assets that you were planning to use, anything extra in your checking account or savings account or an IRA or anything of that nature? Okay, so you do have a 401k, all right, and you have about 100,000 in there, great. Okay, but you're not planning to use that? Perfectly fine. It's just nice to know that you have it in there for your sake, but also for the lender's sake. Hey, congratulations, you guys are doing a great job. You have a healthy income, you've got plenty of assets, and you even have extra 401k savings. Good for you, congratulations. All right, let's see. The last area is your credit. So we do have to also check on what the, what your credit rating is. Do you happen to know? Have you checked your credit score anytime recently? You have? Okay, great. Will you share with me what that is? Okay, about 750. Nice. Well, that's a great rating. Yeah, that's a very good rating. Typically, they go from like 400 to 850. But anything typically in that 7 to 850 range, you should be golden. So very good, very good. All right, so that's the main information I needed. So let me ask you this. I do have two other questions I wanted to ask you. I'm gonna do these calculations in a second. What are you paying right now in your current rent payment? Your current rent? Okay, $1,500 a month. Okay, great. So, gosh, you're paying $1,500 a month for the apartment. Wow. Okay. And what is the typical increase? Oh, really? It's supposed to go up another $200. So right now you're paying $1,500, and it looks like it's going up to $1,700 or $1,750. Wow, that's getting up there, isn't it? Okay. All right. Well. It's $1,500 now. Now, relative to purchasing a new home, I know you've been saving for this for a while and thinking about it for a while. What is the payment that you were expected to pay in your new home? Your monthly investment. Okay, so you were thinking about $2,500. Okay, $2,200 to $2,500. Okay, is that $2,500 a hard number, or up to any more than that, or tell me what you're thinking. All right, so somewhere between $2,200 to $2,500. Okay, so you want to be between $2,200 and $2,500. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to calculate what the lender would allow, and then and just see ultimately where what your buying power is. And then sometimes it's even higher than what you want to pay, which is perfectly fine. So when I do this calculation here, let's see. Well, gosh, based upon your income, which is very healthy, and your monthly obligations, the lender would allow a payment of up to $2,900 based on your income and your monthly obligations. So I know you say you want to be between $2,000 and $2,500. That's perfectly fine. But the lender is saying you can go up to about $2,900. If you were to go up to $2,900 a month, that would mean you could purchase a home in the $500,000 range. But given that you want to be a little bit, you want to be at, say, 2,500, let's see, that would mean you want to be at about, around $440,000, $450,000. That would be your maximum sales price to be able to have a monthly payment of somewhere around that $2,500 range. So how does that sound? Sound good? So that means we can go between the 400 and, if you want to be between 2,200 and 2,500, let's see, at 400,000 here in this community, let's see, at 400,000 sales price, your payment would be somewhere around the $2,300 a month range. So we probably want to be between, probably between about $390 and $450. How's that sound? Okay. All right. Well, the good news is because the home here that you want, the Collins, starts at about 350. Well, actually, with the elevation that you're interested in, it starts at 355. So starting at 355, knowing that you can then go up to 400 to 450, that gives us a range of where we want to go relative to adding various, the extra features to the home. So see how that works? It's nice to be able to see that that you can get all these great features and still be within the range that you want. Okay, and let me just show you as well, just so that you have a clear understanding of this. So the way this works is, and this is the same thing a lender would do. So the lender takes your income right here of 125 and says that based on this type of loan that we're talking about, that your monthly payment cannot exceed 28% of your gross monthly income. So that's where I came up with that 2917. And then they also are saying that your new payment plus your current monthly obligations of $950 a month should not exceed $3750. So ultimately, they're saying that your new payment shouldn't be any more than about $2,800, $2,900 a month. So, you're well within the qualifying range. If you want to be at that $2,500 a month or a little bit less, you should be fine relative to qualifying. Okay. So there you go. So there's your buying power. That feels good, doesn't it? Very good. All right, let's do the fun part now. The fun part is where we go ahead and we're going to price out the home for you. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you a cost estimate sheet, and I'm going to show you, you have the floor plan here and then the cost estimate sheet. And what I want you to do is, as I go through the home room by room, then you can highlight those items that you want me to add into the pricing. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. All right, quick little timeout here. I'm not going to spend all the time in this exercise going through pricing out the home. I'm sure you know how to do that already. But what I do want to do is kind of like pick it up at the point where we've added everything into the home, and then we are showing them what their monthly, what their payments are going to be. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to just pick it right back up. Okay. All right, very good, Andy and Marcia. So this is terrific. So now that we have priced everything into the home, we've got the Collins, and let me show you here what we have. And I would print out what all is included in the home. So I would review the included features, and then I would review again with them all of the upgraded features that they chose to select. So we've got the covered porch that was very important to you so that you have the area for entertaining. We have the outdoor grill that you wanted. We put the beautiful hardwoods throughout the whole first floor. I know that was important to you. And oh my gosh, some of those colors that we have, especially that gray that you were interested in, that's just going to be gorgeous. We've priced in the white kitchen cabinetry that you love. I know you said you got the dark cabinets now and you're so excited to have the white, so that'll be beautiful, especially with those gray floors. We've got the upgraded granite for you, and we've got the gourmet kitchen that has the double oven and the microwave so that you can have plenty of space for cooking your turkey dinner and have all the family over and entertain at the Thanksgiving time too. So, and let's see. So we've got all these things already included in the home. So basically, what this home came to then is the total price at $400,000. Okay. So with a price of $400,000, that sounds pretty good, huh? Yeah, we're right within that range that we talked about. Yeah, you're right, at 400. So with this particular program, let's talk about down payment. I know you said you had about $50,000 to go towards the purchase of the home. So that would allow us a 10% down payment, which I think is great because it helps you save a little bit of money in mortgage insurance and such. But let's talk about the loan program. So how long do you think you're going to be in this home? Okay, you think you'll be in here for a while, huh? Great. This is where you're going to raise the kids. I don't blame you. It's such a great neighborhood, and with all the terrific schools you have here, and